Hello everyone, this is Attorney Stella. Welcome to the Immigration Hour. My office has been inundated by questions from immigrants in states like Florida and Texas, wondering what is going on as regards their states making laws that deal with immigration. And I can say that their worries, to an extent, they are legitimate. According to the Supremacy Clause of the U.S. Constitution, it is the federal law and not the state law that deals with immigration issues. On Friday, March 15th of 2024, Governor DeSantis of Florida passed a bill that increased the jail sentences for people living in Florida who are convicted of driving without a license or who are convicted of certain felonies. A bill called HB 1589, that is the driver's license bill. This bill increases the maximum sentences of anyone convicted of driving without a license 2 times or more from 60 days to a year in jail. It imposes a mandatory 10-day imprisonment for anyone who has been convicted 3 times or more for operating without a license, or for someone whose license has been either because the license has been revoked or suspended. Even though the law in Florida is applicable to everyone, including the citizens and those who have, their documentations to stay in Florida, it indirectly targets those who are undocumented. The reason is because people who are in Florida, the undocumented immigrants or undocumented persons are barred from even having a license. So if you cannot have a license in the first place, then obviously you are doomed, because that law, just driving in Florida becomes a problem. Just driving in Florida means that you will fall a victim to, you will certainly violate this law. It is not only that undocumented immigrants are barred from, obtaining driver's licenses in Florida. In Florida, Florida does not even recognize out-of-state driver's licenses, such as from California or Massachusetts, which are sometimes considered the sanctuary states. So if a Floridian resident has a driver's license from Massachusetts or from California, those driver's licenses are not recognized. So if you're driving on the highway, you're driving on the road, you're taking a risk. Florida would not issue you a license. If you're driving without a license and you are apprehended, you stand a chance of going to jail up to a year in jail, according to this new driver's license bill. It is important to know that some states, about 19 states, allow people who are undocumented to have driver's licenses in order for them to be able to drive and go to work and also to be able to feed their families. That same day, on March 15, 2024, there was a second bill that was signed by Governor DeSantis. The bill is called SB 1036. That bill increases the maximum sentences for people, undocumented immigrants who illegally entered into the country and are convicted of certain felonies. So the bill increases the maximum sentences for people who are convicted of felonies, who had illegally entered the country and had been deported before. The bill also targets or increases the sentences for immigrants who are involved in human trafficking or who are in transactional crime organizations. Such immigrants convicted of low-level offenses such as theft, they will face a maximum imprisonment of 15 years as opposed to the normal 5 years sentences. For mid-level felonies such as aggravated battery, they will face 30 years imprisonment as opposed to the normal 15-year sentences. What about the high-level felonies such as armed robbery? For such immigrants, they look at they're facing life imprisonment as opposed to the normal 30 years sentences. These two new Florida laws take effect. They will go into effect from October 1st, 2024. In Texas, there's also what is called the Senate Bill 4. That bill was supposed to take effect from March 1st, 2024, and right now it is on hold. But what is that bill all about? The Texas law, known as Senate Bill 4, makes entering Texas illegally a crime and therefore gives the Texas judges the right or the authority to have those illegal immigrants deported. That law obviously did not take effect on the supposed March 1st, 2024. It is currently paused. This Texas law rekindles the controversy over the Arizona law, the Arizona Show Me Your Papers law. Why it is important for people of the immigrant and non-immigrant community to know is because, to understand this is because, if you are coming to the United States, you would have to know, it's important for you to know the states that are friendlier when it comes to immigrants or not. You know very well that when you go to Florida, as DeSantis says, they will throw the book at you if you happen to commit a crime. So again, you may have to forum shop. You may have to look and see which are the friendlier states that I should avail myself to. That's why it's important to know this. To answer the question that has been posed to me, whether states really have the right or the authority to make immigration laws, the supremacy clause of the U.S. Constitution says that the federal laws preempt the state laws when it comes to immigration issues. Again, we have to also understand that this is an election year. It may be just political posturing, but whether it is that or not, it's also important to know which states are friendlier when it comes to immigration issues. If we were to say that this is not political posturing during an election year, if we look at the supremacy clause of the United States Constitution that says that the federal law deals with immigration issues and not the state law, you would see that in the case of DeSantis in Florida, it is those who are in the country, that is, the laws that are passed are equally applicable to the citizens and those who are legally in their state. But the only difference is that because the undocumented immigrants are already barred from getting a license, the law now is applicable. You can see that a law discriminates against those who are in the country, who are undocumented in the country. But again, you can justify the Florida law saying that it's applicable. It is dealing with state issue, not an immigration issue. You can say that the Florida law is dealing with a state issue and not an immigration issue, because they're dealing with those that are in their country. They are not deporting anybody, but they are punishing those that are already in the country. They are not deporting anyone, so they are punishing. That's why the Florida could say that, look, we are not deporting anybody. We are punishing those who are in our state and they are committing crimes. Unlike in Texas, Texas is deporting those that they feel came into Texas illegally. They're giving the judges and the states the authority to deport people who are in the country illegally. So for that one, that seemed to be, to me, that seemed to be something that is a federal issue, not necessarily a state issue. But again, the law is paused, it's still going through the court system. I will be able to update you on what is happening with the Texas law. Hopefully, this is, eye-opening, and it gives you the choice as to, if you have a family member visiting in the United States, you should be able to tell them that what is happening in the different states. I hope that this has been very educative. I will keep you posted as to what is happening with the Texas bill and what is happening in Florida, and most probably what is happening in Arizona. Knowledge is power. Like, share, and subscribe so that we can empower each other. If you have any questions or comments, please do so, because this is an ongoing discussion. Thank you.